Many people eventually lose trust in moral authorities. Philosophers, intellectuals, non-governmental organizations, and media voices often speak about ethics, humanity, and responsibility, yet they are frequently part of the very systems they criticize. They benefit from visibility, funding, careers, or institutional recognition. As a result, their criticism becomes softened, absorbed, or rendered ineffective. Morality turns into language rather than action. For many, this leads to frustration, anger, and ultimately indifference. This indifference is not a lack of compassion, but a form of self-protection. When people repeatedly see that words change nothing, they withdraw internally. Systems do not function according to morality, but according to incentives. Platforms, authorities, and power structures do not respond to what is right or wrong, but to what is measurable. Money, legal risk, public reputation, and technical control are the true mechanisms of regulation. Anyone who believes complex systems can be changed through appeals to humanity alone underestimates their logic. Human behavior is shaped less by good intentions than by reward and punishment. This is especially visible on digital platforms such as YouTube. Algorithms have no ethics. They measure only clicks, watch time, interaction, and advertising revenue. Content that provokes, polarizes, or triggers strong emotions is systematically amplified because it captures attention. Warnings about critical future consequences or societal harm remain ineffective as long as they do not produce economic or legal consequences. Platforms react only when advertisers withdraw, when political regulation threatens, or when public pressure leads to reputational damage. The same applies to state institutions. Structures do not change through moral insight, but through oversight, transparency, and accountability. Misconduct is taken seriously only when it can be investigated, when independent inquiries are initiated, or when political pressure arises. Without such mechanisms, unsuitable or power-abusing individuals can remain in positions of authority because the system protects or tolerates them. Real change, therefore, does not emerge from moral outrage, but from targeting effective levers. Money is one of them. Change financial incentives and behavior changes. Law is another. Where clear rules, supervision, and consequences exist, abuse of power decreases. Public attention matters when it is fact-based and exposes risk. User behavior also plays a role, because attention itself is a form of power. What is not watched, shared, or supported gradually loses influence. Humanity, in this sense, is not a romantic ideal, but something that must be structurally secured. Without rules, it is displaced. Without oversight, it is exploited. Without consequences, it becomes meaningless. Good people alone are not enough when flawed structures reshape them. Responsibility, therefore, lies not in moral speech, but in designing systems that make inhumane behavior unattractive. In this light, indifference toward moral facades is not cynicism, but clarity. It marks the moment one recognizes that change does not come from beautiful words, but from shifts in power. Not from appeals, but from intervention. Not from ideals alone, but from structures that must carry those ideals in order for them to become effective at all.